Welcome everyone to another great episode of Brutally Honest. I am your host, Stitches NBC, joined today with
Notorious True. Brutally honest, True in the building. You know what's up.
What's good? I am a poet. I am an inspirational speaker, motivational speaker. Yeah. I write music, and I do a lot of things. But you know what's my most important job?
What's that?
Being a great father to my kids. Welcome everybody to another great episode of Brutally Honest. Now today we got something very special for you guys, some spicy topics. We're going to talk about certain things like how interested are they if they don't even ask you how your kids are doing. Like they don't even ask for your kids. Like it's like your father. It's like how interested are they if they don't even ask for your kids during this talking phase, dating phase, getting to know each other phase, things like that. Another one, this is actually True's topic. He wants to know about, I just shortened it, like, should you wait while they heal? But if you want to reword it, you can reword it right now,
but pretty much like, are you willing to wait while a person heals? Can you wait while they heal? Do you think it's worth it? Should you believe it's worth it? And that's how that's a big one.
I feel like we're gonna disagree on this one. I really do feel like we're gonna disagree on this one.
I'm with it. I'm with the live.
We're also gonna talk about dating somebody older or younger than you. Which one do you prefer? We're gonna talk about that. But there was something that True has said in a couple of shows ago, and I actually want you to clarify, not necessarily for me, or maybe for me as well. But a lot of people didn't understand what exactly you meant by, I don't want to give you my representative. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to have True on. I'm going to let True answer that question.
I will definitely get into that. Yes, because that's needed. That's needed. You guys need to understand what a representative, because we definitely got into a deep one about it. So I definitely got to bring that up, But before I do that, this man here, man, I gotta bring it up before I even go.
He really wants to go there.
I want to go there.
He really wants to go there.
So I peeped this man's Facebook, and he says, and I kid you not, I know he got backlash.
So we're gonna go there. Okay, all right, go there.
So what do you go ahead? I'll let him tell you.
Brutally honest. There is no woman in the world that can fully satisfy a man's sexual appetite. I got eaten up, I got chewed, I got spitting right now, I got regurgitated. It was like, I need some tips on how to handle this heat. But the thing is that I do stand by it. Stand by it. I can't even say that because I'm kind of flipped on the coin. I'm right on the edges, feel me? Like, because it's like Facebook asks, what's on your mind? I woke up with a thought in my head. I didn't even process it to really feel how I really feel about it,
You feel me?
So I took some time today to actually think about it, to dive into it. But when I mean this, and I'm gonna let you know exactly how it went down. Maybe a month ago, maybe a few weeks ago, some shorty asked me, like, why is it that a man can't just be satisfied with just one woman? That was the question she asked me. And I gave her my response and things like that, whatever. But I kept on thinking about it. And it's like, can I come up with other reasons why that is? So I came up with that because, listen, my kids watch the show. I don't want to be too vulgar here, but I do have to keep it brutally honest. So I'm just going to ask you, I'm just going to be real. I'm just going to be straight up. What's the best pussy?
Your pussy. But the best pussy.
As far as growing up, the male cliche, the saying, the slang, no pussy like.
Nasty. Well, I personally feel like, you gotta be willing to be nasty for me.
Okay. Have you ever heard ain't no better pussy than new pussy?
New pussy? Yeah, I heard that statement. I hear that statement.
That's where I'm getting at. So I'm getting that from that
thrill of the chase.
The thrill of the chase, and it's weird because a lot of people
disagree. Then I gotta step up. I gotta step up.
And that's fine. And that's cool.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because that's cool. Because that's what we're here for. Right?
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Okay, I feel like when women use that, there's guys use that too, and it's part of the game. Bro code. I respect it. If that's your game, that's your route. Ain't no way, a man gotta, get out here and get new pussy. That's gang. Okay, whatever you doing. But let's be real with you, Baji. Like, on real life, that's bullshit, because there's men out here that, are willing to be with one woman. But here's why a lot of y'all have a hard time keeping that man. Because you are not willing, and I'm being real, a man is required to make sure, a lot of men don't do it, but most men that are about pleasing you, if your man is about pleasing you, he's going to make sure that you're going to get yours in the bedroom. That's a fact. If it's whack in the bedroom, he got to think of some new ways, some new positions, some none of that. Most of y'all women ain't trying to do that. Y'all not putting that move. Y'all not putting in the work like that. Y'all not. Y'all may learn.
They got new clothes. They buy lingerie. And all that.
Okay, lingerie to dress up the same position, the same look, the same. Some of y'all don't even give y'all man a head or give them good.
So what's the difference between a man? What's a man doing so different that a woman is lacking in?
Woman's like, I mean, okay, we'll be real. Let's just keep
it really honest.
Like I said, we're not talking about the men that don't do it. We're not studying them. But the men, if a woman brings up that she is not being satisfied by a man is gonna go the extra mile. Okay, I need to figure out what she like. Well, this and this spiced up in the bedroom. Besides that, maybe she likes this and that. She maybe starts paying attention to what she's into more sexually. I've seen more men willing to do certain things just to please their wife because she's not happy or is happy sexually or satisfied. And if you watching, if you peeping, if you agree or whatever, let me get a 1, let me get the 2s out there. This is real. I'm about it. So
let's go with those numbers. Press 1 if you're watching live. 2 if it's a replay. Just comment if you shout out. If you agree with true, just type in the number 4 on that. But it seems like you're saying that men go out more of their way to cater to a woman sexually than women do to their man.
Facts. That's right.
So that is what you're saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I know. I might as well been on your post.
might as well, bro.
It's about to get over. It's about to get over. But yeah, I feel like that. That's a fact. I feel like they're more willing because it's more like the women are like, well, it's about me. This is not about me. They'll be upset at their man, ration their man, or say, oh, I don't have the high sex drive, and he has to be respectable of that because any other thing is disrespectful. But going out of your way when you don't feel like having sex, are you willing to do that for your man? Because his high sex drive is going. What if his sex drive is higher than yours? What if it's going on? Have you paid attention to your man to see what exactly gets him to ejaculate? Nah. You more concerned about what you getting off. Oh, I've been faking it for months.
Some women are like that. I've encountered a lot of them, but where I'm getting at is more
the ones that are like that? The side ones that are getting those to come cheat on them. That's why.
I don't know, man. I don't do no side pieces, bro. Like I go to Popeyes, I don't even ask for no mashed potatoes or no sides, bro. I'm good with just the chicken and the biscuit.
The breast, man. I want my one breast and chicken.
I don't believe in sides, man. On a serious note, though, what I mean by that is like, no matter what type of woman you are, no matter how good you are, no matter how above and beyond you are, a man is. And what I'm talking about I'm gonna have to mention this so we can all be on the same plane that I'm at. Okay, I'm coming from the perspective when a man only has sex on his mind. I am not talking in men in general, especially men that don't focus on their grind. I'm talking more from a man that the most important thing is his life is just busting a nut, getting you pussy like I mentioned. He just wants to smash. What's your nationality?
Jesus, I'm black, Ugandan.
You're not Jamaican?
No, I guess I'm Jamaican.
Okay, cool. Now, I'm going to say this what it is, because some of my people might take it racist, but it's not. This is my own life experiences. Now, growing up, I had a lot of Jamaican friends. Now, when I used to go to their crib and chill and whatever, right? Their parents, mostly their fathers, and I'm not just talking about one family, I'm talking about multiple. Their father was like, you gotta conquer woman. You gotta smash as much woman as you can. Have you heard this?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not making things up. So it's like it's embedded within men that we want to conquer as much females as we can. And that, so that's the perspective. Men that grow up with that mentality, it's hard for a woman to really fully satisfy, because it doesn't matter what the woman did and what the woman is not doing. The man is always gonna wanna run off, be a dog, and be and get something new because of lack of commitment.
Well, I mean, with
lack of the desire to be committed. I'm not gonna say love, because a lot of when men cheat, they can still love the person. When women cheat, most of the times they're out of love with that person.
Oh yeah, that's the only reason why they probably is cheating.
You know?
That's what, well, except for.
So that's just the difference. That's what I mean as far as.
Okay, with that then, but even with that then, like, okay, for women, that shouldn't be no confusion in that. Those guys are easy to spot out. I mean, if you're paying attention. If you're paying attention as a woman, as observant as you are as a woman, there's some just like red signs that there should be, even as a guy, there's some red flags as a man. I'll be like, damn, that's kind of...
Ladies, y'all think it's easy to spot the red flags nowadays in 2020? Ladies, do y'all really feel it's that easy? Yeah. Or do y'all sometimes fall for the games that they're playing?
And then still falling for the words, like... I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but this is black and white. Define a fake. If a person is capping, all he doing is promising you shit. Just wait for the promises to show up. I mean, and I'm saying, like, he telling you I'm gonna do this. Don't be all excited about some shit, or don't even put your expectations into it until he show you. If that's the case, if he can't show you, like a man that's really about what he's gonna say, he probably talks rarely, but he's gonna say some things, and when he says it, he does it. If you got a man that's not gonna give you that or do you any of half of that, he's just giving you game every time you come on, bro.
Well, that's why you believe so hard in not giving them the representative, right?
Oh, that's a fact.
So what exactly do you mean by that?
Back to it, there. You ever get it?
That was nice, right?
Yeah, I love it. I like that shit. We here. So for the ones that's just keeping up, I mentioned about a representative. I don't want to give somebody my representative. Meaning a person, I mean, everybody has done it before. You go on your first date, you go out to meet someone new, or you feel like you about to this. 9 times out of 10, Chris Rock has made the statement, I'm not meeting you, I'm meeting your representative. You putting on your makeup and you know what I'm saying, to look a certain way that you feel is going to be how you feel is looking nice on that first date. You are going to come up with your resume of what you've been through and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I've been through this and that. Men have cheated on me before. A woman done hurt my heart too, girl. I'm not a cheater. You know what I'm saying? Then you got oh yeah, like I got a job. I do this, and that. You're telling that's your representative. You telling them what you think they want to hear. What you think it's a part of who you are, but what you think is the most pleasant about you for them to make their decision on, okay, I want to deal with this person more. But if I don't want you to give you my representative, then I'm telling you to your face. I'm telling you who exactly I am at the front door. I am this way, this way, this way, this way, and this way. You don't like it, I am okay with you walking out the door. And most of the times, that is rarity, because most times, most people are like, by that time, you were usually desperate for somebody. Oh, should I use my representative today, or should I be 100? Should I tell you?
I'm glad you're on the show.
You feel me?
Man. Let's keep it brutally honest from day one. Avoid confusion, avoid your assumptions. Assumptions, you know what assumptions, why people make assumptions?
Why is that?
Because they don't have the courage to ask questions.
And I feel like that's the craziest thing in the world. Why would you go off of even an educated guess in science. Science, they say go for an educated guess. Then you have to take the steps to know the real truth. Asking questions.
Yeah, that's what assumptions are. But to get to one of our main topics, how interested are they when they don't even ask for your kids?
Not at all.
Especially if you guys have been dating for a while now. If you guys have been dating for a while.
What's a while?
I'm glad you asked that question, because a while can be different for different people. Yeah. For me, a while, you see, that depends too, because on the action that we're doing, that depends on what's a while. But I'm going to say a while as in being committed with a person. I'm going to say exclusive with the person, right? And I'm exclusively dating this person. For me, a while will be at least 6 months.
Okay, that's
exclusively dating somebody for at least 6 months. I feel like that's the amount of time that I'm talking, or the perspective that I'm coming from.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, so we're dating, we're getting to know each other and all this, and you're not even asking me about my kids. Like I'm with my son every single weekend. It's supposed to be every 2 weeks, and guess what? I'm still with my son every single week. Everybody that's around me, everybody in my circle, anybody that's ever come across me, they know what it is, because I let them know straight up, like, nah, I got my son. Yo, let's go to the club. I got my son. My son is my priority. Yeah. I might take a day off or whatever. Like, you know what? I want to kind of unwind, because life is balance. I understand that, but majority of the time, I'm spending my weekends with my son. And the females that I talk to, they know this. So it's like, damn, you don't even ask how my son's doing? You don't even ask about my daughter? Like, and we're talking from the 6 months. I'm not talking from like on the get to know. Because if I'm just getting to know you, let's say it right now.
Yeah.
I don't want you to ask for my kids.
Right. So what, like you said, well, okay, there could be, here's the lost in loophole in that. And it could be lost in translation. It's devil's advocate. What you may feel like is a wow may not be that for that person, for the next person. So I'll put that out there as if that could be a thing. You know, they may not feel like, okay, it's not my place to be. Because some women feel like they get into that situation, which is tough. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's dating with somebody, it's like, maybe I don't want to get out of my place. You never know.
You don't want to be intrusive.
Yeah, intrusive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe they may not feel like that's a long enough time for them to be intrusive. Or
some people ask you before y'all even gone on the first date. I seen your Facebook. I see you have a kid. What's his name? What's this and what's that? It's just like how Paula Rodriguez. She's like, thank you for commenting. I'd be weirded out if someone asked me about the kid at first.
Yeah,
I would be turned off. To be honest, I'm gonna say turn off as far as the interest diminished. Like just because the correct word, I feel like it's intrusive for me. For me, it's intrusive because. As open as you guys feel like I am, and yes, I could be open-minded, I speak my mind, or my mouth is always on fire and whatever, and that's cool, but in my own personal life, I'm actually reserved.
Correct.
When it comes to my family, especially my family, my kids, I'm actually reserved. I'm sensitive to certain things in my life.
Should be,
and my kids is one of them. So if I'm just getting to know you, I don't care how much I like you.
Yeah,
ask about my favorite color first.
right.
Like,
that was a little one. But I'm hungry.
I didn't even tell you I had a son, and you're asking about him because you did your homework on Facebook, and now you're asking me questions that I wasn't open enough to tell you about. That's weird because it's on Facebook, it's public, it's for everybody to see. But guess what? You are no longer part of my social media now.
So maybe, so even with that, so like I said, that they may not know when is a good time. They could be also waiting for, I know it sounds weird, but I mean, like you're in the talking phase, they could be waiting from outside of the talking phase to get that title of being your actual girl. That's like, okay, now I can say my interest in this and that.
You know what?
Right.
You know how we can all determine when it's a good time? Because I'm including myself. This is not just towards men towards women. No, women towards men. Like we all go through this.
Factual.
In my opinion, I feel like the best determining factor in realizing the correct time is when the partner is expressing themselves about their kids. For an example, if I'm involving my kid in the conversation that me and you had, if I'm the one doing it, like I'm like, yeah, my son is actually sick right now. Oh, I'm actually picking up my son. We're going to do this. And I'm sharing things with you. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a good determining factor for you to at least step on the puddle. Now, don't jump in the pool yet. Like, nah. But just like,
I agree.
Was it fun? Did you and Michael had a good time at the pool? You feel me? Like just something like that, because you're absolutely right. A lot of times, asking for somebody's kids or whatever it is actually very sensitive. Like we don't want to cross the line or do too much. Yeah. But it's just like how you said, like let me know what my interests are. Let me know that you're actually listening to what I'm telling you. Okay, what's important in my life? Kids are important in my life. Music is important in my life. Knowledge is important in my life. I like to read. I like to research. I like to study. I like to learn. I like to learn from people. My favorite topic is learning from other people. That's my favorite right there. Word of mouth. If I have a thought, whether I believe in it or not, true, blah, 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 and we talk about it, and we come to a medium on it, that's what I like. So, yes, I understand we started talking about the kids and things like that, but it's not just about kids. It's about showing that you have interest in their own interests. Like, damn, we've been dating exclusively for 6 months, and to this day, you still haven't even recommended a book. Okay, you don't read. It's good. You don't read or whatever. Cool. But I read. You feel me? So now you're taking your time to find out what my interests are to let me know that you actually care about my own interests.
Nah, she's too busy waiting on you to figure out what her interests are right now.
But I should be. At the same time, I should be also doing the same thing for her.
Right. I mean, that's what she caught up at. She worried about what, you know what I'm saying? Nah, that's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? That it's these means. It's only the men that's supposed to be doing concerned about, you know, what the partner is on, but it's supposed to be both ways around. That's a whole nother convo. You know, I get up in that.
Listen,
right,
bro, I'm not trying to be her priority. I'm not. But can she at least fit me in her schedule? You understand what I'm saying?
If she wants to future with you, why can't?
Oh no! If the interest is there, we all make time for what we want.
That's a fact.
We all make time for what we want. But the thing about us is that sometimes we be so stuck in this love spell that we tend to be oblivious to the fact that other people had a life before us. Before I even got into the picture, you had your own life, you had your own routine, you had your own schedule. You already went to work and back, took care of your kids, or your family. You're already doing you. Now I feel like now because I'm in your life now, I have to be a priority. Like, no, first of all, I'm not gonna go above your kids. Nobody should. Your kids should be number one. You should be number two, or you should be number one. Your kids should be number two. However you run your life is however you run your life. But I'm not above none of that.
That's a fact.
You gotta work. I'm not paying your bills. I ain't paying your rent. I ain't paying your light bills. So how am I gonna get in the way of your job now? You feel me now? If I'm paying it, then girl, take the whole week off. I got you. You feel me? But this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to be a priority, but I am trying to be fitted in your schedule, and that has to come from you. That has to come from the person. Like you said, how much interest do you have? Oh, you used to go to the gym 7 days a week. You know what? You're gonna miss a day because you want to go out on a date with me. Whatever it is, you know, you're gonna do whatever. We're gonna do whatever we want to do for those who are really actually interested in.
We got some comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them a quick shout out. But the thing about asking for kids too early, like, you know what? I'm gonna say this. A lot of times females be like, "Oh, your son is so cute. Oh, give him a hug and a kiss for me." Okay, yeah, sure. I'll let him know. Meanwhile, my son's never even met you. You know, give my son a kiss for me. Meanwhile, my son doesn't even like you, and I'm supposed to be like, hey, so and so is giving you a kiss and a hug. Like, no. I don't care how many times you say that or whatever. I'm not gonna be telling my son so and so said this and that. Like, I'm not going to be saying different names or names of somebody that I don't even know to my son when he's at that age where he's trying to mimic everything his daddy does. It's okay for daddy to have multiple girls. It's okay for me to do the same thing.
Oh, exactly.
No, Michael, it's not okay. I'm not with that now. I grew up Dominican household. It's wild, you know. I don't want to put nobody on blast, but it's loose and things like that. I was never really like that. I was really more like, nah, if I'm going to be with one girl, I'm going to be just with one girl. I don't want to be running around cause I'm not, it's not just about sex. It's about the actual connection and building and companionship that you want to have with somebody, you know? To this day, I'm even more like that. But I'm just saying, like,
I mean, that's perfect. That's where it's at.
You got it, right?
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Good at that. Let's go for the shout outs. Shout out to Brandy, Tina, Jamada, Lamada, Jasmine, hello, Jaylene, how's everybody? Gabriella, man, everybody here.
Independence.
Rob, Rodriga, Ali, Juju, Michelle, how's everybody doing, man? I love you guys all. Thank y'all all for tuning in. Paula, +1 if y'all watching live, 2 if it's a replay. Comment if y'all want to shout out Omi, Michelle, or True Statement. Okay, so that's where we at. So let's move forward as far as do you really think they should wait while you're healing in the healing process?
So
do you really believe that?
Well, I said it to say this. Let's go like this.
Let's put them on our same page because I feel like we know what we're talking about, but we have to put them in the loop. Where right now we're actually talking about if you're dating somebody, getting to know somebody in that talking phase, and you know that the person is going through a healing process, should you stick around?
Are you willing to stick around? Or should you stay? Should you wait while they heal?
What do you think?
Well, me personally, it's a. I would say you can't say yay or nay all across the board. It's case by case. If I'm dealing with somebody, and I notice, and we both notice that they need to heal. There's something that needs to heal. Now, if they are identifying and are willing to make that change and willing to work on that, I am very willing to wait for you because I see that there's some growth to be had. There's some growth to be had. But if I am dealing with somebody that no matter what, you know what I'm saying, you know that they need to heal, but they are still in denial of it. They don't even deny there's a problem. There's red flags there. Or even if you feel like they're not worth it. If through all this, if I feel like if I go through this, am I going to resent them after? Am I going to feel like this is worth it? I don't have enough love inside me to have for them to want to wait. Slide. Don't even waste your time because you're gonna all those things that you're thinking about is gonna happen. You're gonna end up, you know what I'm saying? Because when a person is healing, I mean, let's be real, hurt people. So they're gonna do.
Can you say that one more time?
I mean, let's be real, hurt people.
Yeah.
So, in a healing process, I mean, let's be real. We were all, when you were healing, and you weren't the perfect, ideal. Oh, I'm healing, and this is beautiful. It's ugly. Healing is ugly. Healing is nothing pretty about healing. You got to come to real grips, meaning honestly sit your ass down about some shit. Be honest with yourself, which a lot of people are not good with. Mm-hmm. You're going to be toxic for a minute, and then you're going to be continuously toxic until you try to fix it. But you'll be toxic in your healing time. In your healing time, you're toxic. Let's just be real. You're toxic. You're not in this factor of being... And whatever that you need to heal in, whatever it is, that section, you're toxic. You're toxic until it's healed.
I would say initially. I would say primarily. I would say definitely in the beginning. I can definitely agree with you. I just think because being that there's certain steps towards that.
Yeah.
Well, how many steps there is how many steps there is. Whatever. Yeah, let's just say it's 3. For lack of argument, right? Let's just say it's 3 steps. I believe yes, definitely that first step. Yeah. You're feeling it.
Yeah.
And you should feel it.
That's a fact.
And you should be human. And you should feel miserable, blue, down and out, depressed. You should feel that.
Not get it out of the system. That they're miserable, depressed, or down on that. I'm saying the things that's going to be exerted out is not going to be in a positive light. It's going to be negative. People people take healing. I mean, you talk about healing, and people think of healing on me, yoga, and I'm closing my eyes and I'm calm. And
but what about
affirmations? It's ugly, homie. It gets bad. Sometimes a person and they healing, they lying while they healing. Sometimes while they healing, they cheating while they healing. You know what I'm saying? Like they are you willing to understand that this person is worth it though? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, they sabotage. Sometimes in the healing process, a person is sabotaging because they're so afraid that this person is going to hurt them again that they sabotage.
Yo.
So that's something that they have to heal from.
I actually got a comment I want to tell you. It's actually from my cousin Benji. Thanks for commenting. I appreciate you.
For sure.
He's like, if the person is healing, I feel that's when the person is also vulnerable. And if you give that person what they are lacking, they might get drawn to you for the wrong reason.
I gotta give you a hand. That's actually very true, dog.
Yeah.
Very, very true. Very, very true.
So I definitely do agree with that. But I believe, like how you were saying, there's different types of healing. Like for an example, if the person you're in that situation with, and let's say the example is they're getting over the loss of a loved one. Brother, sister, family member, her parents, or her kid, whatever it is, somebody close to them in their life passed away.
Correct.
They're healing from that. I'm gonna be there for that person.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be there for that person no matter what. I'm gonna be there consoling. I'm gonna be a shoulder for them to lean on and things like that. I'm gonna be there for that person. I'm gonna try to occupy as much as their time that I can to occupy their space in their mind that they don't have to keep thinking about the loss, right?
See, well, that's the pretty side. I know it sounds like that sounds crazy. I know that sounds crazy for me to say that's the pretty side of healing, but that's the pretty side of healing. Those are things that I would call them pretty side because that's understandable. People can understand. Anybody can understand. Damn, somebody lost this. I'm gonna be here.
Yeah, you're gonna have empathy and sympathy for the person.
But tables turn. What if they were hurt so much in their past, or molested or this way, this and that, or touched a certain way, or hurt so much in their past by their ex and felt like they were nothing, that they feel like every time something good comes along, that it's gonna end up bad. So what they do is sabotage it. Maybe she just starts cheating. Maybe she starts going off. Maybe it's gonna. So y'all identify the fact, or either he. And I just say she because I know I've been doing a lot of she bash lately.
But we're meaning in general.
In general, he's got this problem going on. You know what I'm saying? And the whole natural. You know, I hear women say this all the time. This man talk about he got hurt, his heart hurt in 7th grade, and been hurting women since. It's funny, but maybe he hasn't figured out how to heal. Are you willing to go through that part? Are you willing? Do you think it's worth it? Say he or she may love you, and may they feel like they love you, but this thing right here is a rift, and they gotta get it fixed. But to go through that, they go through relapses. Because when a person's getting off a drug, you know what I'm saying, and going through these hurts and healing is in the same steps as when a person is getting off a drug. Remember, when you're relaxed to something, you're used to something, you're training something, it's almost like a drug. It's like it's a natural knack to you. When something doesn't go your way, you run back to that. So people relapse easily. What if something that y'all argue and they relapse, or you sound like the guy that used to beat on her, or this and that, and it's just a flashback, but she is not ready to speak on that yet, but she starts doing things and making actions, and you notice the actions are different, and it's toxic. And she's on that. Are you willing to stick for that kind of healing?
No,
that's a whole
I'm not.
Well,
no, I'm not ready
there's
to
no
stick
one,
with that
there's
type
no,
of
and there's
healing.
no one on the earth that's worth it?
Nobody on earth is worth more than myself to myself.
So you feel like that would be
it has to come from us, bro. We have to be a little bit selfish at times. Okay, it's okay to give, and it's okay to give, cool. But don't give so much that when you look at it, you're empty inside and you have nothing else left for yourself.
But what if giving yourself is not taking away? Because a lot of people do that.
I got you. So what if not giving yourself is not taking away from you?
Yeah,
cool.
Because people, you know, you tend to, and I'm a natural human. It's natural. You take from here and boom, boom, boom. Well, I still need rib because I'm hurting. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully you treat it well. Nah, you know what I'm saying?
That right there, bro, is what I was gonna get that. I'm gonna stop once there's no signs of improvements. Period. Now, like how you were saying earlier before when we started the conversation, like if I'm with you and I know you're going through a healing process, but I know that you're actually trying to deal with it and trying to take care of it, then cool. Mm-hmm. I'll stick around. I'll work with you because you're doing what you need to do, right?
Right.
Tato. But if I'm over here giving them this and giving them that, and they're not even doing anything with it, then that's the sign that I should stop giving and just keep it moving.
That's a
have my space and give them the this and they deserve.
Before we jump off this, because what he said, what your cousin said in that comment, bro, is very, very like it is a key factor to me in this. When in healing, when he was like, it's a time one of the most vulnerable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And with that being said, a lot of people are used to people leaving them when they're most vulnerable because you're doing, you know what I'm saying? And that's what tends to take time in healing, because a person is afraid to go that route because they feel like if I show them that I'm this vulnerable side of me and they leave me, I'm gonna be even more broken than I was when I actually revealed how broken I was to this person that's supposed to be my partner.
And there's definitely levels as far as how broken you can be. Because like, okay, so we'll use certain examples, but one could be like, oh, you just lost your job. All right, cool. So I'm going to still have empathy and I'm going to still have sympathy for you because you lost your job. We all need some type of income in our lives. All right, cool. I understand that. But if you're not doing anything about it and you just want to complain about it, then no, that's what it is.
Facts, right?
Now, another example, the person just got cheated on. They recently just got cheated on. Matter of fact, it could be 10 years ago. The person is still not over that person that cheated on with them. Now, to answer the question, will I stick around while they're going through that healing process? No, I'm not. I'm not going to stick around for that one because, how you said, self-sabotage. Another one, they're going to drag you into it. You feel me? Another thing is like, you're going to be dealing with your own insecurities. I don't got time for that. I don't got time for that. Now, am I going to try initially? Am I going to give it an attempt initially? Of course, I'm going to try at the first time, but I'm only going to give one swing at that bat. You feel me? Straight up, I'm going to try.
So,
but if I feel like your insecurities are being projected towards me, I'm cutting you off and I'm giving you my distance. For example, the example that we said as far, you got cheated on. Now you're over here. You said you was tired, but it still shows you're active on Facebook. You said you was going with whatever scenario it is. You feel me? And I'm gonna deal with that. I have time for that, bro. I don't got time for that, bro.
I got time for that? No.
I don't got time for that.
I feel like you're right. You're right, though.
Now the flip. I'm gonna give him a flip.
Ooh.
I'm gonna call it the positive frequency domino effect. When you're down and out and you don't have a job, it's hard to find a job. Don't y'all find it funny? Like as soon as y'all get the job, all of a sudden y'all get a whole bunch of job offers after that?
Right.
Okay, that's the positive frequency domino effect. And that has a lot to do with our mind and our thoughts and what we're projecting out, the energy we're putting out in the world, right? So now we're starting to feel like I can't get a job. So now we're thinking like that, man, I can't get a job. So you don't get no job. You feel me? You got lucky, something like that. You got to connect, whatever. Now you got a job and you're feeling great. Wow, I'm so happy. Now you're releasing all this positive energy out that now you're getting more opportunities. So yes, I do believe that we can be an accomplice to somebody's healing, but I can't heal you. You know, the healing has to come from you. But do I believe that me being there for you, me being positive for you, me being a shoulder to lean on, that might set you on the path of thinking positive and more positive things are going to happen in your life? You damn right I'm going to be around for that. As long as I know I'm not wasting my time. How do we know we're not wasting our time? Well, they're not even listening to what we said. When you keep on repeating yourself, you keep on, you still, like, I said this last week. Yeah, you know what? Never mind. I got something else to do. Click. Brutally honest.
That's it. What's on the comments on that?
I'm just saying, man.
I know some people had some things to say. I know someone will be saying something.
Oh, you had to let them heal, and if it was truly meant to be, you will find each other again. I don't believe in meant to be's. I don't believe in destiny. All I know is that in the afterlife, I want you next to me. No, I'm just writing.
That's lit. I said somebody dropped
sometimes they aren't even over the last person, Paul Rodriguez. You're right, and a lot of people use another person to try to get over the person, and all they did is, you know how some people be in a love triangle? Yeah, there's some that be in a love octagon. Go figure that out.
Right.
Let's see. And unfortunately, women suffer from wounded bird syndrome. Another one is like, as women, we have the high need to want to nurture the hurt. And that's why I feel like some women would prefer a younger man. Just because of that part, just because of playing the superhero role. Just because they want to save the person and things like that. So let me ask you, ladies, and the guys tuning in now, would you prefer somebody older or younger than you?
One if it's older, two if it's younger. That's deep.
What about you, bro? Like, your preference.
My preference.
I know there's always a catch-22, but we'll get to that before we get to that.
Because I've had my experiences. Like I like younger, but I have my plies with younger, man. Like, I like older too, but then I have my plies with older. Then I can't go do the things that I like to do with the younger John. So. Man, you can't get a medium in everything. All right, I do.
Age. That would be
a medium age. But let me get your actual age. I'm good on that too. But let me.
Oh man.
But
so you prefer older?
I say I like.
What's going through your mind right now? Like, why are you so hesitant on? But why was you so hesitant on?
I wasn't hesitant. I'm more like, cause it's like, I'm thinking about like the experiences I have with older and younger, and it's like I have my reasons why I would choose younger, and like, yeah, I'm with that. But then I have my reasons why I was like, hell no. And then with older, it's like, yeah, hell yeah, I would do it older. But then I got my reasons, but. I learned so much from the older generations.
Can we agree that with age has nothing to do with maturity?
That's my thing. Stuff? That's where I'm at. That's why I was the hesitant. If you want another answer, that's it. My hesitant is like age doesn't really define maturity. I've dealt with older women that are immature as hell. And
I've dealt with younger women that are more mature than me.
Like, got put me on game. It was like, wait. Okay, well, all right then. You go ahead, be great.
To be honest, whatever your type is, whatever your preference is, you like whatever you like. But the thing is, if you really feel like you prefer somebody younger because it's easier for you to manipulate them, that's the wrong way. It's very easy for us to manipulate people who are younger than us. Like I mean, I'm in my 30s. If I'm dating somebody in their early 20s, it's gonna be easy for us to manipulate females like that because they don't have experiences. They don't know enough of the red flags.
I know guys that move like that too.
A lot of dudes be doing that, bro.
I'm about to what do you call it, man?
And another
call it training. That's
bro, a lot of guys would rather be with an older woman because they like to be taken care of.
Yeah,
because they had that mama's boy syndrome.
Yeah, and that's why that's my ply for the older women. When the older woman is trying to kind of like, oh, you need to this and this and hold on, I know I'm younger, Miss Carol, but look, I'm a grown ass man. I can do what you know what I'm saying. So that's my ply too. See, so yeah, you're very true. Damn, that does fit.
I want to know what y'all doing right now. I understand y'all watching the show right now, but I want to know if y'all watching the show while y'all watching a movie, or y'all watching the show while y'all trying to wash dishes, or y'all watching the show while y'all babysitting your kids, or y'all watching the show while y'all smoking a blunt. Like, real talk, I want y'all to tell me right now, what are you guys doing while y'all watching the show?
What goes on at the crib while you watch the show?
When it comes to, would you prefer somebody older, would you prefer somebody younger? We all have our preferences. Whatever your compatibility is, just balance it. Well, do I prefer somebody younger, somebody older? To me, it really doesn't really matter that much. But I am not passing a 9-year gap.
Word.
I'm not passing a 9-year gap just because that's my preference, and I'm not shy to admit it. I'm not passing no, or even a 10 years. Like if you're a decade younger than me, I feel like you're too young for me.
Yeah, okay.
If you're a decade older than me, I feel like you're too old for me.
Yeah.
I'm not calling you old. I'm not calling you a young buck. I'm saying you're too old and you're too young for me, for my life.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like okay. Like,
I'm with that.
You feel me? Like, okay, Shorty is way too young. You know, she doesn't understand a lot of things. It can cause a lot of arguments because of the miscommunication and things like that.
True.
Now, you could date somebody older than you, and they might have some type of entitlement. They might feel a certain way. They might feel like they can scold you, or like, you know, it could be very different. Now, again, I'm gonna repeat.
Well, is that a form of manipulation though? Like
that is.
Because, like you said, the manipulation, I was thinking about, like, the guys, you know, usually doing it. But when the women are doing whatever, like, ain't that manipulation too? Aren't they trying to move the same way? Isn't that the same thing?
It is. It can be. As far as a type of manipulation technique, yeah.
Yeah, getting the young buck and try to train him too. Yeah, I ain't slick. I peeped y'all.
If Shorty can't answer, when did Usher, because this is a meme, I don't know if you've seen it, but when did Usher get in his drop back cruising the streets? If you don't know the answer to that, you're too young for me, bro. You're too young.
She hit me with who is Usher. I done been around an age group where I would name certain artists or certain, you know, say you knew it's the vibe. They're like, who is that? Oh, nah, we can't even talk no more.
What about for you guys? Because I know Brandy comments that she likes the 9-year gap. She says it seems reasonable, but I like that for older, but only about 2 to 3 years younger. Okay, she likes, if she were like with a man, it's okay for her to be like at least 10 years older. But if he's gonna be younger, she doesn't want him to be
too young.
Too young. Okay, I got that.
I agree with that. I respect that.
You know, Paula, 7 o'clock. Okay. Nothing laying down. Watch it. What type of food, Benji? What you wearing? Don't tell me no wings. And if it's wings, it better be ranch, not no damn blue cheese. We good? I know. I be having fights with blue cheese fans.
I'm walking the ranch, so we good. Like,
ha, that is hilarious. That's funny. She's like, oh, I'm at home. Everything is done. I haven't introduced you to the kids, so I won't discuss them. That's hilarious.
You on top of it. Good.
Oh my God, yeah, she's on top. Who was that? Paula. What I was gonna say. Live your life however you want to live your life. Like how I was telling you earlier, like we was talking, we was like, damn, should we even say that? And we're like, man, F it. It is what it is. Right. It's brutally honest. And what I'm trying to relate the message to all you guys, myself included, is that speak your mind. Be who you want to be. Speak your truth. Stay true to yourself. Because at the end, if you don't, you're going to have regrets. And also understand that you can die a hero or live long enough to see yourself as a villain. I think they said that in the movie Batman, I believe, right? And a lot of people don't understand that, but it's like familiarity breeds envy. And also, you can't please everybody. To some people, you're going to be a hero, a savior, a messiah, or an apostle, or protege, all this. But to some people, you're just a villain. You're just a bad guy. You ain't shit and you ain't about shit.
And that's okay.
To some people, true.
Yeah.
We're just on live talking shit.
Facts. That's a fact.
To other people, we're on the show talking facts.
This is real life stuff.
So this is what I mean as far as be who you really are and stay true to yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's really going to make you happy. The happiness that you've been looking for, the happiness you've been searching for, the happiness you've been seeking for, the happiness you've been wishing for.
The great person that you be using your representative to tell the world about, you being yourself, you ain't got to use that. That's like the persona and the person that you're sending your representative out to the world, to have the world understand. You can just be you. You can be that.
And also understand that my love for you will not change my character. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. I'm going to stick with my character. You could be my mom. You could be my kids. You could be my best friend. You could be my partner in life. It doesn't matter who you are. Especially if you're close to me. My love for you is not going to define my character. I'm going to stay true to who I am. And what I mean by this is like, it's not easy to be brutally honest like that. It's actually very hard. And it's also a privilege to be brutally honest with certain people. Not everybody deserves that. So if I am being brutally honest with you, it's because I care about you and you need to understand where I'm coming from. I could be wrong.
Hold on. Before you go any deeper, go back to the part where you said, not everybody deserves that. Please elaborate why that's relevant, bro.
Besides saying that some people are sensitive, some people can't handle it. I don't even want to go that route. What I mean as far as not everybody deserves your brutal honesty. It's a privilege. It is not a right. You understand what I'm saying? Like a right, the differences between a right and a privilege is a right you own. A privilege can be taken away. It's a privilege for people to be brutally honest for you. Not everybody deserves that, because at the end of the day, most people are living the life the way other people want them to live it. Most people are saying things that they feel the other person wants them to say. Like how we said, how interested are you if you're not even asking me about my kids? You're not even asking me what was the last book I read. You're not even asking me what's my favorite sports team, what's my favorite type of entree, dinner, breakfast. You're not even asking me any of these questions. The only thing you're telling me is I'm ready for you and I'll go to you anytime you need me, Papi. As if the only thing I require and want in life is just sex, because that's an assumption you made because you're not listening. It's a privilege to be brutally honest with people. It's a privilege to be open with people. It's a privilege to not get your representative.
That could be a whole show. How many women listen to their men? Listen, though. You heard them. But how many women listen to what your man said? Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. I'll wait.
Next week. I'm going to say something, and I want to just take your take on it while I give them next week's topics. I'm going to tell you this. It's not love. It's jealousy. Ooh. I want you to give me your feedback on just the statement, because you don't know where that statement came from.
I know either. Right? You hit me with that.
It's not love. It's jealousy. I want you to think. But next week, I'm actually going to talk about certain things.
I can take on that. Let's see. Do I gotta wait on that, or I can say something now? Let me know.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Give me a little bit. Okay. It's not love. It's jealousy. All that territorial mess and telling you trying to block this and this and that. Why women in your phone? That's because I love him. No, you jealous. That's ridiculous. We can go there. Let's go. And men too. I'm calling out men too. Yeah. Even though they be like, the females, I think it's cute. No, it's not. It's not. Your grown man, as a grown man, shouldn't be that insecure when he going through your phone, lives in his mind when you going out. Why you wearing that? Isn't that why he insecure? That's jealousy. That's jealousy, and that's not a trait you're supposed to be having, homie.
A lot of times you with somebody and then that person breaks up with you, and all of a sudden you have feelings like, oh my God, I never knew I loved this person so much. No, it's not that, bro. It's that you're just jealous that they're gonna be with somebody else.
Who doesn't know? Yeah.
Straight up. That's exactly what it is.
There's no fake ass text. I hope you're happy. You lying.
No, you lying. You lying. Jaylene,
Because I know.
So if it's only about sex, why even bother asking all these questions? If it's all about sex, then there's no need to ask all these questions. If it's more than sex, but it's not too much as far as you don't want a relationship with a person, but you still value a friendship with this person, then it is what it is. It is what it is at that point. But like how you said, if it's all about sex, then it should just stay about sex. Don't mislead if it's something more.
Yeah, for real. If it's just about sex, please don't mislead. Because that trust me, it gets ugly. It gets ugly real quick.
And at the end of the day, like Brandy said, people are going to do whatever the hell they want anyway. I mean, whether they check their phone or not. But next week, we're going to talking about recognizing blessings. I want to talk about that because a lot of times you had said something earlier and you was coming from, we're going to label that person from the example you use as pessimistic. They're always complaining about something. They always feel something bad is going to happen. Even when something good, they don't appreciate it because it'll be like, oh, this is not going to last. Something else is going to come right there. They're lacking the recognition of recognizing the blessings. We're going to talk about recognizing the blessings and also living in a world of instant and constant gratification, especially on social media. Sometimes we post something and because we didn't get enough likes or whatever, we feel self-conscious like, man, maybe they didn't like it, maybe they didn't like it. No, we want instant and constant gratification, and we've been living like this because of social media. And nowadays when you are talking to somebody and they don't respond to you instantly, now it's, but why? Because I had a life before you and my life didn't stop.
I got a whole job. I missed your call and now you dating somebody else. What the hell? I was at work.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, comment, and share if you guys loved it. We'll be back next week. I do have a few upcoming shows that I'm planning, but like I always tell you guys, I may have my plans. We may have our plans, and at the end of the day,
we got some junk. Yeah, when we put it together,
it's only God's plan that gets fulfilled.
Always.
So your boy Stitch's NBC. That's nothing but classics music. Thank y'all all for tuning in. I love you all. Tuning out, Stitch and
Brutally honest, true, notorious, true. You know where to find me, man. Come on and tune in next week, man. Next time. Brutally honest, man. We here, baby.